Right, since we talking about Queensbridge, and I wanted to shoot this to you, man, because it's a funny hip hop question, but at the same time, I feel like I got to get to where your head is at with this one here. Now, what was your reaction when you first heard when Nas dropped Ether, man? Because at that time we was rooting for Nas in any way. Because I'm like, look, I'm QB for the. I'm like, look, we can't let these Brooklyn guys get one on us. You know what I mean? So, what was your reaction when you first heard Nas drop the Ether for the first time?
I just said he killed them. I mean, because they're not gonna out rap Esco, no matter what people think. Let's go back. Like I told you, I had a relationship. Paul used to come to my house. Let me just bring you up to date right quick. So
Go
Paul
ahead,
used
go
to come to
ahead.
my house. Paul, Large Professor, used to come to my house. Large Professor used to deal with a chick from North Carolina named Sean, right from my neighborhood. So I remember one time, like I was still in high school. They was older than me, and so living in my mama's house, you're gonna do what she say. So I remember one day I was out there mowing the yard, and I was out there mowing the yard, and I got the lawnmower pushing the yard, and I'm out there, looking, cruddy, my shoes green from the grass and all that. And I remember my mom was like, "Yo, Tim." I said, "Yeah, what's up, mom?" And she said, "Your friend's here." And I'm saying, I go out to the road, I look, it's Large Professor, it's Paul. And he see me not in rapper mode, not with the Tims and all that. And man, I was kind of embarrassed. But when you look at that, he was already telling me about that Live at the Barbecue album. And when I first heard
Main
Nas rap, I
source,
said,
main source.
yeah, friendly game of baseball, looking out the front door. But he was really telling us the business, and and he was telling us about Nas and just the Live at the Barbecue album. Akinelli used to be in my crib too. One time, somebody broke in my crib and stole Akinelli's clothes and my clothes out of there. They broke in my crib while we was at the studio in High Point, my man Chi-Town studio. But bringing it back today, I'm trying to stay on point. That's just a lot of
No, no,
information.
no. It's okay. It's
But but
okay.
you know, they had stole me and Akinelli's clothes. Somebody had broken out my crib, and they had broken my trap house that time, and they stole a lot of stuff. And they ended up stealing Akinelli's kids, his keys, excuse me, his keys and clothes and all my clothes and shoes and stuff. But Nas, Large Professor, was the one that told us about that album that was getting ready to drop, and it was dope. We heard Nas, and I was like, man, whoever this is, he's dope. So when he came back with the Ether, I wasn't shocked. I knew he was gonna kill. He went to kill mode on them. Beans and none of them, they good rappers, but they're not seeing Nas. They're not seeing Nas. You got to really date that thing back to Live at the Barbecue and see what you're dealing with. Some of the stuff he said in there, I said, yo, he might be crazy, but you got to look at when Nas was on Live at the Barbecue, when him and Akinelli and Large Professor, and then look at what Nas did to him. It was Ether. So when he dropped Ether, it wasn't no surprise. I just was waiting for the bomb. It was like, yo, they said, look, they get ready to bomb Iraq. Go to the bombing shelters. You gotta have yourself ready and be stable because there's a bomb coming. So it wasn't no way possible that Memphis Bleak, it wasn't no way possible that Beanie Siegel and Jay-Z thought that they could diss Nas, and Nas wasn't gonna come back with that bomb, the Hiroshima joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, man, Tim,
That
it's
thing,
crazy.
they'll
It's
check this to you. I mean,
mhm.
they always could have got a chin up when they heard the Stillmatic freestyle.
Yeah, bingo. That's right. I remember when Doo-Wop put that out. Doo-Wop, DJ Doo-Wop, shout out to my man Doo-Wop, Bounce Squad. Doo-Wop dropped that joint, and I said, this right here is a problem. He was just getting warmed up on that. He was just getting warmed up on that.
Man, and it's crazy because, of course, when we mention Nas, pre-Illmatic, but of course, Breaking Adam's main source album, 1990, which was his first. There's two people that we have, well, the three people actually, because we gotta praise Lost Professor, then we gotta give props to MC Search, and then of course we gotta give props to Faith Newman. Those three people, because Faith Newman was the one that ultimately got Nas his deal at Columbia. Um,
And you can't
but
hold
when
up. You can't forget LES either. LES, shout out to LES and
Shot
Total
man,
Package.
Elliot, man, look, man, Elliot stay down here in VA. That's my man. Great guy, tremendous guy. Les is that dude. And that's another legend from the QB, Les. I
That's
mean,
right.
look, see
That's
what I
right.
mean? The lineage is just ridiculous. Um,
Yeah.
like King was saying, I think Ether hits so hard because we had never heard Nas in battle rap mode. And we always you got to remember, this is 2001. This is, I believe, December 10th, 2001, when Stillmatic drops, when the album drops. So Nas is seven. Well, if you count 1990 to 2001, Nas is 11 years into his career at this time.
Right.
And after he dropped Stillmatic uh, in April 1994, and then of course it was written in June 1996, he's pretty much on after that. He drops
Right.
2 stellar albums and he's on after this. He's off and running. But we had never heard him actively engage in a rap battle because Nas never bothered anybody. So this whole thing with him and Jay kicks off. Jay and them, hit him on the blueprint. And the only thing we can think of, we're not wondering if Nas is going to respond. We were never wondering if. We were
No.
just wondering what it was going to sound like when he did it.
They should have went ahead in the bomb shelter, like I told you, Yuri. They should have went ahead in the bomb shelter because I knew it was coming, man. I'm keeping it real. I knew it was coming. Esco ain't letting that. Man, we used to be out in the block, and rest in peace to Prodigy, man. You got
Man,
just man.
yes.
Shout out to Prodigy. It hurt me bad, but everybody in North Carolina, they knew
Yeah.
Prodigy was connected to me. Prodigy and Havoc, and just Godfather Part 3, Chinky, Noah, just Gotti, all of them, man. Just they was like fam, like I'm telling you. Twink and Mito, they really just had open arms for me when I would come to Queensbridge. I would actually sleep on the floor in Ty Nitty's in his mom's project. So and rest in peace to Ty Nitty's mom. And just
Yeah.
Kiko and just so many different people that passed, man. Within
Killer
within the
Black. We can't forget
Queensbridge,
Killer Black.
shout out to Killer Black, rest in peace to Killer Black. And but just I'm gonna use a couple more jewels right quick. But I remember when we was on the
Go
set
ahead.
of
Go
Murder
ahead.
Music, the movie, when they was filming Murder Music, the movie. I used to go in there. We used to be in Long Island, and Long Island. This is when P and having them at the crib in Long Island was a base studio in the basement. Shout out to Papa Mob, and they used to be playing the beats, and I used to be going there killing it. And P used to be telling them, "Yo, Preem